Hello my dudes and welcome back to Minecraft Minecolonies Byzantine. And this episode we've got big plans for a big expansion. This episode what I want to do is expand the borders. We're going to try and build an area that's going to become our retail district. So let's pop on over to the area and I'll show you what we're going to do. Oh man, it's going to be a big one. Wait, why am I taking the ladders? I can survive fall damage. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that reminds me, we never properly looked at the restaurant after it's been built. So this is the level 3 restaurant and we can actually hire an assistant cook if we want to. But we don't have the dudes yet, so that's something to do down the line. In fact, it might be an idea to move the restaurant up to the retail area because what does every good shopping mall need? Well yeah, a food court. So what we're going to be doing is expanding the wall from here all the way around there in kind of like a corner. But before we do that, we need to make sure that our workers can actually get over this wall. And here we go. Now our dudes have a way to get through the mountain up to where we're going to put the retail district. Now things are pretty cool up here. It's a lot of, what is this stuff? Podzol on the ground, but you know what? That's fine. Because we're going to bring the walls out in kind of like a straight line as like a big corner. And what this is going to do is cement our town hall's position at the center of the colony rather than the edge. So we're going to need to go and grab some guard towers because it's going to be a mixture of guard towers and walls that are going to span across here. Now where is my build tool? Because there's one thing I need to check first. Aha, yeah, the colony boundaries. So we're going to have to build as we go on this one because we need to expand the boundaries out a bit more so we can wrap around. Basically, I want this wall here to be as far back as that one over there, and that'll create a nice little space for us up here for some cool shops. And time to put down the first guard tower. So basically, yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a guard tower, maybe 2 or 3 walls, and then another guard tower. I don't want to go too heavy on guard towers because we already have a lot of guards on the colony, and I don't ever really think that guards are going to be a problem. So let's try and line this up. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure this guard tower is exactly on top of this one, the same position. So raise it up. And there we go. This is where the existing guard tower is, and it looks like it's identical. So we're going to stretch this out now. Like so. And then when we get to the position where we want it, we're going to raise it up. And I think that's a good bit. We'll just raise it up now like this. And I think right there is good to go. So we have to be careful now because the guard tower we put here is going to be the level for all of the walls that go along here. And we don't want it too high, but I think right here is a good position. So we'll press OK on that. And let's go and get the other walls into position. Now we're going to need our builder's goggles for this as well, which I should have somewhere. And there we go. Yeah, looking pretty good. So I'll just slide it on over a little bit more so it matches up. So this is going to take me a bit of a while to map out, so why don't you grab yourselves a cup of coffee, maybe a cup of tea, or even a chocolate milkshake if that's your thing. Sit back, relax, and let me take care of this wall in beautiful time-lapse fashion. So here we go, another big, massive expansion to the borders of our colony. It's always good to give ourselves lots more room to work with, and it's actually really frustrating to be cramped and capped and get to the edge of your colony and look up and realize, oh no, the boundaries just aren't big enough. Now the first build took a little bit longer because, well, one of our builders, I think it was Nikki, fell asleep. So we had to wake her up after this guard tower was built and kick her into action. But things are pretty good. Now with these walls, there's a section design that lowers the walls by 2. So it's kind of like a sloped wall. And that's what I kind of wanted from this area. Like I've said before many times, adding height and levels to your colony will really help, no pun intended, elevate it from other colonies. It's very easy to load up a creative world, have a big flat space, and build a very easy, convenient colony. But like grid systems in games like City Skylines, it looks dull. Add some curves, add some height, add some elevation. Now the first guard tower we got to level 2 because we needed that extra room, but the consequent guard towers we can keep at level 1 because we don't need to push the boundaries out too far now. But next to this guard tower I wanted to build another gate because it would be pretty cool to have another entrance to the colony over here down by the retail. Amazons, barbarians, and whatnot can spawn kind of anywhere. And if they can't find a way into the colony, they're just going to go up to your walls and ruin them. Now yeah, forgive the walls being a bit floaty, that's something that we'll come to afterwards. But next to the gate we wanted a guard tower again, to expand the borders so we can bring the wall round to the left. Now that guard tower is a little bit different, it's actually a corner section. Now midway as this wall was being built, we had a bit of a calamity. Let's take a look. Oh my dudes, we've had calamity. Oh my god, I think you can see it right there. We've had a death, Nikki Braven. Oh my god, Builder Supreme is Builder no more. And let me show you what happened. So she was building the wall, all nice and innocent, having a fun time, hanging out with the llamas maybe? And then all of a sudden, oh my god, she fell into lava. That's so annoying. Now we're going to do a couple of things. I got some dirt on me. We're going to make sure this never happens again by covering up this really messy hole. But also it does mean that we get to hire a brand new builder. Now it does suck majorly because Nikki had loads and loads of levels in being a builder. It was like her thing. But now all of that's been snatched away from her. Oh man, and we're going to have to level someone up all the way from the bottom. And that is terrible news. Oh, but at least Jay is still hard at work. There we go. Oh man, devastating. Well, pour one out for Nikki Braven, but she ain't coming back, so let's move on. There's a time to grieve, and that's not now. Not while we have a wall to be built. Oh, now also, she probably had some really cool stuff on her, so let's make sure we can get all the stuff from her pack. Yeah, there we go. Oh my god, yeah, loads of diamond tools. That would have been a real shame to lose. Okay, there we go. Mischief managed, and the hole has been patched up. Now, we're going to have to use a lot of dirt anyway, to basically bring this land up to the level of these walls, because they are floating pretty high off the ground. Eventually we want to level all this off so it all looks nice and even. But okay, back to the tavern I guess, and let's see if we can recruit a brand new builder. You know what, with death comes life. Well, not always, but okay, in this case, yes. And it is a pretty cool opportunity for us to hire a new dude. So we'll leave Jay to his thing over on the wall, and let's go and see who's cooking. Now you'll see some rails around. Basically I slapped down some rails to make it easier for my builders to get over there to the walls. They've got a lot of work to do over there, and I figured we could dig it up after if it looks ugly, but for now it's going to speed them around just a little bit. And looks like we have 3 fresh dudes to choose from. Now I do want to get the tavern up to level 3, and 2 first I suppose, but it's going to take some time. So Leo Wolf Dragon, Kapulka Nergard, and Gattacus Lich. Well, we don't have a Gattacus yet, I don't think.
I'll take care of it.
And that's only 24 hay bales. What about Leo?
Do you need something?
25 redstone, that's very cheap.
Okay.
And 6 cakes. So unfortunately, I'm not sure we really have the hay to spare for Gattacus, so we're going to dig into our pack. Oh man, I've only got 20 redstone in here. I'll go grab some more and then we can get Leo, but to make sure you don't leave, let's give you a baked potato. Nom nom nom. Chomp on that, Leo. And here we go, let's hook him up. Boom. Oh no, that's a baked potato.
Right away.
Got the redstone for you, pal. Boom, and Leo is gonna be our new builder. Let's go and get him hooked up. Oh, but before we do, actually,
Great to see you.
probably want to give you some tools to work with. This was Nikki's hut, and Nikki no more, it's on to Leo. Now actually his stats aren't terrible, these are pretty okay, 14 and 12, and as he goes he's going to level up a bit more. But you guys have asked, actually, what are, oh hello Danny, what are our builders at level wise? And over here you can see Jay's stats are, oh okay, so Jay is capped at 20 and 20, I don't think he can go any higher. I think that might be attached to the level of his housing, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's get back to the time lapse. So here we go, yeah, just trimming off the final little part of the wall. And this is again just 2 plain sections. I thought about putting another guard tower around the end here, but the truth is we've already got way too many guards. And when I build the Combat Academy, the Archery Training Range, the Knights Academy, the cool warship that has loads of guard towers inside it, we're going to be swamped with guards, so I don't want to have too many just yet. And our new builder is keeping up pretty well. Leo is a valuable and treasured member of the colony already. Now, it's not a super neat finish to this wall. We will have to come back, tidy this up, but when we expand the wall around and finish our borders, I think we can manage that. Now, as the wall has been built, let's do a bit of a swoop around and remind ourselves where the boundaries are with the colony and how things stand. So yeah, the hospital needs to get up in the levels, and this back end of the colony needs a lot of TLC. We've got a raised section here, right behind this old tower, that I'm not quite sure what we're going to do with. Maybe this could be the guard district, where all the military are. We've got the old gate, the first walls we ever built on the colony, and, well, that area looks kind of bare too. Maybe needs a little bit of decoration and maybe a ship or two. And of course, our brand new retail district. This has actually created a lot of space for us here, so I'm really excited to see what we can put here and get things going. It's also big enough that I feel like we can add some gardens. This is going to be the real luxury area of the colony. And again, another hilly section up here. I'm not quite sure what we could put here. Maybe just some decoration. Maybe we'll leave it, but that's for the future. And we come around here to the industrial district. Now, the industrial district versus the agricultural district, I feel like I really did pick the right biomes. On the left, you have a really kind of rough and ready area at the base of the mountain, but the agricultural area is full of lush greenery, and it really does look like a place where farms belong. Now, we do have a massive area up here on this hill, and what I'm thinking is, this could be where we put the cathedral when we finally get round to it, but that's going to be the crowning jewel of the colony. And there we go, that's about it. The colony so far looking pretty good. Oh man, so we have our work cut out for us massively. The walls are done, amazing, and that looks like it was the biggest thing to do, but it's not. The real problem now is going to come with all this land clearance. I'm going to have to dig away all of these trees and then bring the dirt to the same level that it is over here on the wall. So I want to have like a weird kind of cascade hill section here, and I think this would be perfect for it. So there's only one thing for it then, time to grab my iron axe, and let's get cracking. Okay, Ripperoni and Pepperoni, you brave spruce and oak beasts. Now comes the even bigger task, bringing along dirt at the right level so this whole area is flat. Now this is going to take me forever. I can kind of get a little bit cheaty with this by just using my dank to dig up all this podzol, which I think becomes dirt. Yeah, there we go. And just have like a thin layer of dirt all the way along here to bring this all level. Oh man, so several hours later and we finally cleared out all the trees and got the dirt here. Laid it down so we have this kind of cool hilly terrace. And there's so much possibility now. Look at how much space we've now prepared for the colony. There's a load of room out here and I can't wait to work out what we're going to put inside it. So if these are the walls for the retail district, we're going to need to look into what we're actually going to put into the retail district. So I've got my clipboard, let's make a list. So here we go. So what buildings do we think are going to go into the retail district? What's going to be at home in a kind of like Byzantine shopping mall? Well, the flower shop is absolutely one. It's got shop in the name, so it's got to go into the retail district. The Fletcher is also something that I think could live up in the retail district, because he's basically like a bow and leather shop. Now, the dyer's hut is a bit of a weird one. It's kind of industrial, but it's also, I think, kind of like a bit of a shop-style building. Obviously, the bakery, that's got to go here for sure. Now, the blacksmith is a tricky one. While it is kind of like an industrial building, most blacksmith shops would kind of be somewhere where you could go to. So we might think about moving that over here as well. The apiary, well, it's a nice idea, but that many bees, we don't want to have all of our shoppers stung by bees. That's like it's a legal lawsuit nightmare. So we're going to skip apiary. Now, one thing actually is we could put an insulate up here. What if we have an insulate on the side over here by the cliff, a nice big long one that stretches all the way along there, and then on this side we have shops by the wall and a giant street that runs right the way through. That sounds like it could be really, really amazing. So with that in mind, we're going to also add to this list the restaurant. And put a question mark there, because if we have the space and we've built the other buildings, it might be nice to bring that up here too, because we're going to need some kind of food court. Or, perish the thought, we could actually have a second restaurant. Why not? It looks like we're going to have the space. And I think that's the big thing, right? Those massive insulae, while Byzantium is a big style, and you have big buildings everywhere, the fact that you can have so many houses cramped into one small area means you do free up loads and loads and loads of space. Well, okay, the next step then on our retail adventure is going to be making sure we can do the research to get all of these buildings. So off we go. Aha, so here we go. The dyer's hut itself is level 3. And it also requires our flower shop to be level 3 as well. Oh man, well the flower shop is right before it as well. Okay, cool. Oh, but all of this requires compost. Man, we are getting way ahead of ourselves with the retail district. So we're going to have to do a couple of things to make sure we're ready to really expand on this retail district. And number 1, it's finally going to be the composter's hut. Okay, well we have a clear goal for ourselves. We might as well do some research while we're here. But for now, the research we're going to do is down civilian. We're going to find, where is it? There we go, first aid for 16 hay bales. That's going to get our colonists a little bit of extra health. So okay, 2 things, the composter's hut and the university. So what does the university require to get up in the levels? Blue brick shingles, well I've got the lapis so we can manage that, no sweat. Also flowers can get blue dye. Honeycomb could be tricky as well. Gunpowder we can manage, moss block we can make from, the mossy blocks that we've been growing, and this is why it's important that we put those in a botany hopper pot, because the university requires loads of these moss blocks. 2 brewing stands, 1 nether brick, oh man, there's a few bits and bobs here. But nothing too crazy, but to go forwards with that, we also do need an apiarist. So we're going to go over to the agricultural district now and get a compost up to level 1, maybe 2, maybe at a push 3, and an apiarist's hut so we can start getting honeycomb. Honeycomb is of course going to be amazing because it means we can give it to the guys that appear over at the tavern. Sometimes they request honeycomb. So the apiarist's hut, which needs a beehive, some planks, and a build tool, no sweat. Ooh, wait a minute, what? No, we need honeycomb to make a beehive? But that's... We're making the apiarist's hut to get the honeycomb. Oh man, well, do I have it? Oh, hang on a sec. So I do actually have some in my computer. Okay, well as luck would have it, I guess we looted some ruins and grabbed some. So boom, there is the beehive, and with 1 to spare, amazing. And boom, the apiary. Now the compost hut, this could be tricky. So we need a compost barrel, some planks, and a build tool. The compost barrel is apparently nothing too crazy, amazing. And there we go, the apiarist's hut and the composter's hut. Let's go and get this placed. Back on over at the farm. So it looks like my sushi crops are going pretty well. Now, of course, the farmer does still have massive problems with the rice. Oh my god, what the hell is going on with this field? What is this, some kind of joke? There's also no rice in here at all. Okay, I'm going to bite the bullet actually and change this farm from a rice field to something else, because rice is just not doing it for us. Now, actually, I wonder, can we actually plant melons in a field like this? I would have thought it would be more of a plantation thing, but let's try setting it to melon and see if we can get her some seeds. But I'll do that down the line because I don't want to go back to my computer right now. So where are we going to put the composter's hut? Well, compost is really important for farms, so somewhere near to the farms might be kind of good. There it is, the apiarist's hut. So what does the Byzantine apiarist's hut look like? Okay, fairly simple at 1, 2, oh nice, 3, 4, and 5. Oh man, you know what, this looks really beautiful, and I really want to have this on the riverbank, so ships sailing down can see this wonderful building. Oh man, this looks really cool. Very happy with the positioning of this. And now secondly, we want the composter's hut. So what does this look like actually? Oh whoa, now check this out. The composter's hut is actually really tiny, and I think this means you can probably get away with having a couple of these. Now, boundaries-wise, we're really on the edge here. We can't pull it back this way anymore. But if we actually move the apiarists a bit closer to the river, we can probably fit the composters in between the apiarist hut and the farm. I think that's a good idea. So here we go, we'll put the composter's hut here, levels 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh man, it looks really amazing and really discreet. I was worried this building was going to be huge, but it's perfect just here. Boom, tick the box. And there's a gap of 2 between the roads here, so we can have like paths that come down here, and that'll look lovely. We can put another one over on this side, if we've got the room between the boundaries, but that's for later on. For now, we want to get the apiarist's hut down. Now this thing looks really nice. I took a look at this earlier. Give it a bit of a gap between the composter's huts. Maybe about 3, I reckon. Bring it a bit closer up here. Oh yeah, and you know what? I think this is the perfect spot. So there we go, level 1, and we'll pull the trigger on this, and we have 2 buildings to be getting about. Let's go and see if we've got the materials for it, but I think they're going to be pretty easy builds. And we're almost ready to go. Let's see if we can get these built in the background. They only take wood and a few simple materials, so they're going to be very easy to do. But one of the things you guys mentioned is that at my cowhand's hut, how's it going, God Dragon Lich? There's a setting I can and should change. So basically, I shouldn't have feeding on for my cows, and I don't know why they do have this option, but basically what this will do is mean all of my hay comes all the way over here and goes straight into the bellies of the cows. But cows don't need to be fed. They'll eat grass, and they only need hay when they're going to mate. So turn off feeding and everything's fine. I think it might have some relation to producing milk, but if it does, I don't care. Oh man, look at this. We've got some baby cows in here as well. The cowhand's hut is perfect and works amazingly. In fact, in that case, that means I must have some beef over at the warehouse. Very cool. Anyway, let's get these buildings built. So here we go, a beekeeper and a compost hut. 2 very, very simple builds, but they are actually more vital than you think. Whenever you look at buildings in Minecolonies and think, hang on a sec, do I really need this? More often than not, the answer is yes. Everything's there for a reason, and there's going to be something that building does that your colony really needs. And Sod's Law means that you're going to find out that you really need it later on when you don't have it. So, generally speaking, building buildings as you get access to them is a great shout. Honey's also useful for foods, but the honeycomb is placed in weird ways, and also it's part of some building requirements, which is a bit weird. I guess it goes in item frames. But the composter's hut is the real unsung hero. It's a vital building, more vital than you think. Anyway, both of these look great. Let's jump in. So we now have an apiary hut and a composter. Now you guys that are new to Minecolonies are probably wondering, well, what do these 2 buildings do? The first one, the apiarist, it's kind of self-explanatory. Basically, this guy looks after bees and collects their produce. He can breed them, you can set them to collect honey, honeycomb, or well, that's it. You can set what flowers you want to put down for the bees to breed. I think bees need flowers, right? And you can add beehives to the hut. So basically you start with 1 over here, but don't let that stop you. If you have more beehives, you can put them down as well. And using the selection tool, which is over here, obtain the tool, you can right click on a hut and boom, it becomes a hive. Now you actually have to add the first hive yourself, it looks like. So now that's added, we should be good to go. However, let's put this back in here. We are going to need a beekeeper to look after said bees. Now also, if I can escape this place, there we go. We've got the composter's hut. Now what does a composter do? Well, it kind of creates compost. Okay, obviously. But why do I need that? Well, basically this guy creates fertilizer that the farmer can use to speed up their crops, and once you get a massive colony, it's actually a really good idea to have several composters' huts so your farms can keep churning out all the food you need to keep your dudes fed. Now also this bad boy can make dirt if you need it, which we might do I suppose, and you can tell it what you want it to compost. Now, all of these are off by default, but I want to go over here and make sure all of the berries for 1 are set to compost, because those are filling up our builder's packs and making it really awkward. Plus, nightshade is 1, anything that's got currant in it is also a good thing to put in here, like all of these. But not only that, we can also set it to use leaves, and that's why it's important for your lumberjack over at the forester's hut, or the forester I suppose, to have the option to get leaves off the trees, because then those leaves can come over here and become compost. So we want oak leaves, and we also, I think, want spruce leaves. And there we go, that'll do for now. I'm sure we'll think of some other things as we're going along. In fact, if you guys at home have any ideas about suggestions for things to put in the composter hut to use as compost, let me know, because I'm not really sure what kind of things we should be putting in there. Oh man, this field is a mess. I'm gonna have to fix this at some point. Look at this. Oh, there's even a leak. Oh man. Sklerbetha, what are you doing?
I challenge thee.
You challenge me? You're my god. What are you talking about? Anyway, that brings us to the last order of business. Now, I've been looking at the names you guys suggested for both the university and the tavern, and there were 2 clear winners. So let's go and find out what they were. So it's a weird one, but you guys suggested that we call the university the Library of Scindria, which is kind of like the Library of Alexandria, but with a twist that we're going with on the colony, I guess. Eventually, this place is going to get a library and a school when it levels up to 3, so, you know, that will kind of make sense. Now let's go over to the tavern and choose a name for that. Now, by far and away, it sounds like you guys love Aquilario so much that you wanted to name the tavern the Drunken Eagle. And why not? Eagles are very much on theme, so we're going to move it away from the edge of the building. I think here's fine, it's on the road. And the Drunken Eagle. There we go. Now looking at this, we also still need names for the agricultural district, the construction district, and well, my flat is my flat, so I'll think of a name for that. So do keep those coming in. And like before, anything that gets upvoted massively is going to become the name. So we're going to need to hire an apiarist, or a beekeeper I suppose, and a composter, so who's knocking around? Scotty the Quick. Oh man, wouldn't mind a quick Scotty. And 11 sunflowers we can definitely do. So where did you go, Scotty the Quick? Here we go. Wow, he is quick. He was down there a second ago. Here we go. 11 sunflowers. Welcome to the crew. Hope you enjoy your stay, my friend. And it looks like Scotty has brought his twins. We've got Scotty the Quick and Tuppy the Quick. So why not? I like the idea of having a couple of twins on the colony. Let's see what you need. Oh no, 7 honeycomb. Oh, you came at just the wrong time. Maybe next episode we can get you in, Tuppy. But there is another Tuppy, just like another Skywalker. Wait, is this a... Oh my god. I had no idea there's a basement in this building. Amazing. So Tuppy Maximus, and you only cost redstone, which I might even have on my person. No, 3. So I'm going to have to go and grab some redstone and get her in. Ah, wait, who's this? Sol Baldelli? Yeah, more honeycombs? Unfortunately, no. So come over here, Maximus, Decimus Meridius, and welcome to the colony. Let's get these guys in their new jobs. Now, composting is more important than beekeeping because, well, yeah, honeycomb isn't that essential. And stats-wise, oh my god, look at Tuppy Maximus, 20 stamina. Absolutely, you're going to be the composter. Hope you don't mind digging around in poo, but what does a composter look like in the medieval pack? Ah, yeah, pretty cool. I love it. Nice digs. Next up, we're going to get the beekeeper. Can't get over that wall. And there's only one choice here. It's Scotty the Quick. But what does a beekeeper look like? I bet this guy looks pretty cool. Oh yeah, pretty standard beekeeper. Nice. Like the robes. Actually, I think he looks like a monk. I think that's because in the medieval days, most beekeepers were actually monks. If you can believe it. And I reckon they're good to go. So my dudes, thank you for watching this episode of Minecraft Minecolonies Byzantine. This episode, we made leaps and strides towards getting our retail district up and running. We built some massive walls, it took forever, filled in some land, that took even longer, and we lost our brave builder, Nicky Braven. Big shame, but we've got Leo now, and I'm sure he'll rise to the challenge. Now, to get us started on the buildings we need for the retail district, we've also got a composter over there and an apiary. I'm going to see if I can fix that field that's full of water and try and get those 2 buildings up to level 2 or 3, and then maybe next episode we might even be able to start on the retail district itself. Thank you for watching. Hit like and subscribe. Keep your names coming in for ideas for the districts. Both agriculture and industrial need a name. And until next time, take care.